Hello everyone, this video is the first in a series of indeterminable length about the complete impossibility of live TV fakery. So this will go on for as long as it goes on for. I have an outline written and I'll just go until I'm finished. Not all at once, this is going to be split into multiple parts because I tried to do it all at once and it took way too long. So I'm starting over and segmenting it up. So, let's get started. The very first misconception about the 9/11 TV coverage concerns the number of live shots shown. Most video fakery believers will take Ace Baker's word for it that there were only 3 live shots, or maybe they'll even go as far as what September Clue says and stick with 5, even though Simon Shack shows 6. There are a total of 8 that I'm aware of, thanks to Matt Nelson of 911conspiracy.tv. He has uncovered some quite phenomenal information actually in the past 10 years related to the video records of the day. With specifically the second alleged plane in mind, he has compiled 61 videos and 40 photos. He has further subdivided these into smaller groups, one of which is live TV shots. So a lot of what I bring up on this channel will be largely due to his work, so he deserves a fair amount of the credit, even though he has absolutely no idea that I exist. Unfortunately, he is a controlled demolitioner and anti-no-planer. I have no idea why he is so opposed to directed energy, but you gotta eat the meat and spit out the bones. So, without any other delays, let us begin to examine the live shots and show why it would have been nearly a miracle for the United States government or the Mossad or whoever anyone else claims it was to have faked these broadcasts. Now, Ace Baker has produced a masterpiece of disinformation where he lists 9 features he believes are necessary for live compositing. Very brief appearance and disappearance of the plane, high contrast between sky and tower edge, plane path is across sky only, blah 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 blah. Now there's another version of this available in PDF form, and it's like a 79-page paper on 911conspiracy.tv with a few minor changes. This point in here where it says exploding walls are hidden, that was eventually changed to camera is gyroscopically stabilized. In here where it says camera is as stable as possible, helicopter drifts very slowly to the left, this one says helicopter is as motionless as possible, drifting very slowly to the left. That is not saying the same thing. And in both cases, he says absent any one of these 9, real-time compositing becomes impossible. So if all 9 are necessary and absent any one of these 9, real-time compositing becomes impossible, why does he change 2 of them? Okay, exploding walls changes to the camera stabilization, and then camera stabilization is changed to helicopter motion. Now this PDF was published on September 27th, 2008 by Ace Baker himself, obviously. But this other one on the pilot's forum, Ace posted this to it on November 12th, 2008. So it appears that after 6.5 weeks he decided that these 2 points no longer apply and decided to change them. So, like, I find this deceptive and suspicious, so I will combine these 2 lists to 11 points because in both cases he says that if any one of these points were missing, the entire scenario would be impossible. And not only this, he says these only apply to the 2 different airplane videos that have been confirmed to have been shown live. Okay, confirmed to have been shown live, known as Chopper 5 and Chopper 7. It is not Chopper 7, it is Chopper 880. Just his ignorance over the name of the chopper that took the video shows me that he is not qualified to be talking about this. I don't care that he knows a whole lot about video compositing. If he is saying that there were only 2 live shots and that one of them was called Chopper 7 when that's not even its actual name and there were 8 live shots, we really need to be questioning this guy. So, again, I'm combining these lists to 11 points, but out of these 11, I would like to point out that it doesn't matter how stable the camera is. It has to be 100% stable and motionless. Even the slightest zoom in or camera bump will make the entire scenario impossible. This point is actually self-refuting as I see it, so I won't include it in these 11. And if these are both chopper videos and they're composited, how can the plane image remain so stable? Like, I don't care if it has very smooth motion, there would be telltale signs of fakery, and there are not. This actually automatically disqualifies half of the live shots because 4 of the 8 were filmed from choppers. And he says, excuse me, he says helicopter drifts very slowly to the left, or motionless as possible, drifting very slowly to the left. That is not true. In the Chopper 5 video, you can see that it's clearly moving. And I mean, I don't know how fast it's moving. It's not motionless though. You can tell that it's moving, and during the zoom in, it's not drifting to the left. It's because it's getting closer to the towers that the supposed left drifting motion appears or occurs. So, another thing, when he says that all surfaces requiring airplane shadows are hidden, that is also extremely deceptive because he makes it seem as if all the other videos out there, except for these two, show a shadow. I dare you to go out there and count the number of videos that actually show a shadow of any type and come back and tell me that Ace has legitimate reasons for including this characteristic. Out of the 101 available angles, 61 videos, and 40 photos, or photo sequences, out of the 101 available angles, I was only able to find 6 that actually show any type of shadow, and really the Evan Fairbanks video was the only one that showed a shadow of any clarity. Okay, there aren't going to be that many videos that show a shadow on the building. Let's see where, there it is. Yeah, there's not going to be that many videos that show a shadow on the building because of the angle of the sun. Actually, I'm a little ahead of myself here. This is a screenshot. No, this is just the website, timeanddate.com, not a screenshot. Here is like the sunrise and sunset times and where the sun was at certain times throughout the day. So if I go to 9:03, well, I guess it's not letting me go to 9:03. Okay, 9:02, if I can get it there. Come on, there we go. Altitude 27 degrees, heading 109 degrees east-southeast. This picture, these lines, that is this is a screenshot from Google Earth. It's oriented so that the top is like due north. So these lines are rotated at 109 degrees. So this represents the angle of the shadows at this time, at 9:03 on 9/11 in New York City. So you can see, I know it's blurry, I'm sorry I didn't make it any higher quality, but you can clearly see that the angle of the sun's rays would be shining like parallel to the sides of the buildings, like these sides, the north and south sides, so you're not going to get that much of a shadow. As for a shadow on the ground or the water, well, that would be a very interesting field of study beyond the scope of this video. And this is a big maybe, but maybe I'll do a shadow study in the next year. Maybe. We shall see. So, this shadow point is irrelevant, and I will not be including it in the remaining 10. Now I'm going to whittle it down to even less by not including camera is gyroscopically stabilized, for the reasons that I have already discussed. You can't have near zero motion or a stabilized video. You have to have 100% zero motion. No camera rotation or zoom in or bump, nothing can be tolerated. Also, I will eliminate exploding walls are hidden because what the heck is this even supposed to mean? Like, maybe not every single video, but like the vast majority of them. What was that? I don't know. The vast majority of all the videos show some sort of fireball or explosion or something. So I need someone to clarify this for me. Like, what is Ace trying to communicate here? I just don't understand. And besides, what would this even have to do with the live composited plane image? So, I will not eliminate any more. The live shots will now be judged according to Ace Baker's 7 standards because 4 of them are self-refuting or irrelevant or something or other. The 4 that I'm not including, that's the plane shadow. All surfaces requiring airplane shadows are hidden. I'm eliminating exploding walls are hidden. Motionless helicopter, and camera is gyroscopically stabilized. Helicopters are always moving anyways unless they're grounded, so, you know, you can never have a... Once again, same principle applies here. You can't have as motionless as possible. It has to be 100% stable and motionless. And again, he destroys his own theory when he says, absent any one of these 9, real-time compositing becomes impossible, and then goes and changes them. But so, if we can show that one of these points does not apply to any given live shot, that refutes everything that he stands for. So for all of you video fakerers out there, Ace Baker himself says that it would be impossible to composite these videos if any one of these characteristics were not present. I haven't even started looking at any of the videos, and he's really crashing and burning at this point. Okay, I did look at the chopper 5 for like 3 seconds, but let's start on that one. Let's get to this. Okay. Yes, WNYW chopper 5. Everyone loves this one. So the very first point that most video fakery advocates will bring up is no plane in the wide shot. They'll say, you know, oh, you can't see a plane in the wide shot until, you know, right here when it actually enters this really narrow field of view. However, to whoever that says that, get a higher quality piece of footage or get a higher quality copy of the video like this one. I found this on Matt Nelson's channel, this first part. This second part I found it on someone else's channel. It was like the NIST FOIA version or NIST Cumulus. I don't know what the difference is between the FOIA stuff, Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, FOIA, and the Cumulus. I don't even know. I don't know what the difference is. All I know is that they're like the purest form out there, and only for I think half of the videos. I think only half of them have some sort of NIST file. So thanks to Matt Nelson's channel or his website 911conspiracy.tv, he like lists where to find it. You know, ABC Dub 105, whatever that means, and CBS Net Dub 435. I don't know what that means at all. All I know is that when you go to archive.org, that's exactly what you get. And it's like a really pure form. Anyways, sorry, I'm deviating from what I was originally talking about. Okay, no plane in the wide shot. There is a plane in the wide shot right there. See it? It is there. Even in this zoom in, whoops, I stopped it too late. Right there. You can see that little dot. Let's go a few frames forward. Yeah, that's the plane in the wide shot. Well, that's the first zoom in. You can actually see it right here, like during this zoom in period, in lower quality videos as well. You really have to look for it, but it is there. And again, this thing froze up on me. There we go. It appears right, well, somewhere. There it is. Okay. So when Simon Shack takes his little arrows and, you know, starts lining them up and goes like out to here, that is so deceptive. Okay, because first of all, it's a low quality video. I mean, let's just admit it. This isn't really worthy of any sort of praise or anything. I mean, it's really not a great video. But Simon Shack takes the arrows out to the completely wrong place and tells you to look somewhere contrary to where the plane actually was, which is, you know, in this area. And it passes in front of these fumes here. tower dust from Tower 1. Okay, it is there. It is in the wide shot. And he's actually, Ace Baker has admitted this in his blog. Okay, this was in 2009, August 8th, 2009. Plane in the wide shot strengthens the case. I was wrong. There is an airplane in the wide shot of Chopper 5. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read this whole article. It's pretty boring. But if you do, you can... It just becomes so clear that he will do anything to cling to his video fakery arguments. No matter what, he will just keep on perpetuating this stupid compositing junk. Like, he creates an irrefutable argument with his faulty presuppositions. Like, no matter what, his go-to is that this video is faked, or was faked, and then after the fact, it was modified to match all the other ones. I guess he says that with every video. I don't know, but this is an argument from ignorance. Okay, it's like when anti-King James only people tried to refute true Bible believers like myself by saying in the original it says. Like, they claim privileged access to the truth, which really can't be refuted nor confirmed. So it becomes a very tangled web when he bases everything on this presupposition. And when it's proven to him that all 61 videos match each other, he'll just say, oh, the composite traders changed them all later. Okay. I like the analogy of the man who thinks that he's dead, and no matter what his friends try to tell him, he doesn't change his mind. Eventually, one of his friends asks him, do dead men bleed? And he replies, of course not. So his friend takes out a pen and pricks his finger, and when blood starts oozing out, he says, I can't believe it, dead men do bleed. I mean, is this not Ace's logic in this article? No matter what, you can never refute anything he says. He is very deceptive. Anyways, enough on the logic. Let's actually get back to the study of this video. And sorry, one more thing on this. This was 2009, and he keeps the no plane in the wide shot myth. He keeps that in his Great American Psy-Opera, whatever he calls it. I'm sorry, that's just plain dishonest. So, the next point that people like to bring up is the miracle zoom. I don't see how that's suspicious at all, so it doesn't really prove anything. So, yeah, I don't have anything to say about it. Besides, the plane is in the wide shot, which kind of provides, it takes away the only foundation for this supposed miracle zoom. Anyways, the most famous, well, really the most infamous point is the supposed nose out. And I have already made 2 other videos explaining, sorry, this cabinet next to me keeps opening. Let me just open it, so, sorry. Pointless distractions. I've already made 2 other videos about the supposed nose out. It is not a nose out. It is not a live compositing error. It is a dust jet. Please watch those videos. If I remember, I'll put a card up in the corner somewhere over here. Hopefully. I'll probably forget. Oh well. Someone remind me. Please post a comment saying it. Okay, sorry. I'll shut up. Yeah, it's a dust jet. It's not a nose out. Okay. And on a brief side note, I would like to thank Mark Conlon and Andrew Johnson for spreading that video out there. Mark, thank you for writing a blog article about that and sending it to Andrew and putting it on your VidMe channel. And thank you, Andrew, for sending everyone on your emailing list the link to the video. So, yeah, this is a dust jet. Not a nose out. Now, there is something special about this one that I know I said I wasn't going to be touching on the shadow at all, but this one I found a shadow in it. I'm serious. I could not believe that there was actually a shadow cast by the plane that is visible in this one. I didn't notice it until I zoomed way into the building, but, you know, it's there. And I know I said I was going to count the shadow thing as an irrelevant point, because it is, but just the fact that it's in a live shot really puts some big obstacles. Whoops, sorry about that. Something's happening in the other room. That really puts, if it's going to stop, there we go. Sorry. The shadow really puts that was weird. It puts some big obstacles in the way for Ace's theory. He views the Chopper 5 footage as if it is the strongest piece of evidence for live TV fakery, but I think it is the weakest because it really only conforms to like one of his points out of the 7 relevant traits, and one of them that's irrelevant. He's like screwed on that one as well. So, um, let me show you the video. Opened up on another window. So, I put this together earlier today. This is stabilized and slowed down. Watch this area right here. You'll see a shadow. Do you see that? I don't know if you could or not. Let me put this on a loop. I forget how to do this. There we go. Just like watch right there. See how that darkens for a minute? I'm sorry, that's going off again. I'm too far into this now. I'm not starting over. So you can see there's clearly a shadow cast by the plane on the building in a live shot. Like it is there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ace. You're really dying at this point. Let's see. I have another one in here that says Chopper 5 shadow. I guess this one's farther, zoomed out farther. Yeah, I think this is 20% speed. Oh, and another point that Ace brings up in his, I think it's '07 the key. It might be the what planes, like the chapter 6 part. He says that the plane is like jittering all around, and thereby proving that it was composited in, because he makes, I haven't seen it in a while, he shows like an Alaska Frontier jet, I think, that he added into a video, and then he goes through this whole thing. He's like, I stabilized it and it's shaky, therefore it was added in later. And then he applies that to Chopper 5, but he purposefully must have not stabilized it correctly, because here is what I got when I stabilized it. Well, there we go. When I stabilized it, I used the tip of the Woolworth building as my stabilization point. Yeah, it's perfectly smooth. There's not really any shaking at all. I mean, I don't know what Ace is talking about. I think someone's walking around upstairs. Sorry about that. Hopefully they don't come down here. I've had enough trouble trying to get this video done for the past week because everyone else is always interrupting somehow, so oh well, sorry about everyone else. It's not my fault. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of problems with this Chopper 5 footage. The only point that actually really applies is actual impact point is hidden, and that's all across the board. Whoops, for all 8 live shots. The impact point is hidden for all of them, and people like to use that as evidence for TV fakery, because they say, you know, oh, well, there should have been some live shots from the south side of the building that showed the plane entering on that side. Let me just show you why there aren't. Okay? That's part of the video. This is the North Tower. The north side of the North Tower has a big gash in the middle of it. The south side of the South Tower is the farthest away you can be from the point of interest. The TV crews are going to flock to the north side of the World Trade Center complex. There would be no point in them going to the south side because they'd just be staring at a blank wall. People want to see the action. This is where the action is at. They want to see where all of these fumes are coming from. They are coming from right here. No one is going, no news crew in their right mind is going to focus their cameras on something that nobody cares about and no one is interested in right now. And the viewers, they're really just going to get angry because they want to see this. I mean, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. They don't necessarily want to see some tragedy like this happening, but they want to be informed as to what in the world is going on right now, and they don't want to be shown a blank wall for, 17 minutes, 17, 18 minutes. I don't know. You do the math. So, there's really no evidence that I see that the Chopper 5 footage was composited, especially considering that the plane is visible in the wide shot. It is there. And that was shown on live TV. And right there, that little dot. And I have a very hard time believing that this was faked. Now, the reason I have the high contrast between sky and tower edge yellowed out for this one is because while that is true, the plane is visible in the wide shot. Again, I can't stress the importance of this enough. It is visible in the wide shot, and it even goes in front of the fumes right here, this tower dust. And during the zoom in, it stays in the same place. Not that it visually stays in the same place. It's still moving, but it does what you'd expect it to do in a zoom in. Okay, there's nothing really suspicious about it at all. So, I'll stop here for the end of part 1 of the Impossibility of Live TV Fakery. I really think this is one of the weakest one of the weakest videos that Ace could offer as some type of evidence for fakery. Only one point applies. Only one point he's actually good on, and I think there's a very good explanation for that. I just gave that explanation. So, I think he's really not doing so good. Keep in mind, he said if any one of these 9 were not present, compositing would become impossible, and all of them, every single one, none of them are present except for this one. He has nothing to go on. Really, the only other video that's worse than this is Chopper 4, but that is the subject for another day. Thank you all for watching. Let's see. How do I end this? There we go. Okay, in the next video, I will be talking about WABC Chopper 880, mistakenly called Chopper 7 by most people. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Please check out mark-conlon.blogspot.com and check theevidence.com and drjudywood.com and get her book Where Did the Towers Go? If you are not already aware that the World Trade Center complex turned to dust, get her book and read it. It is a 100% indisputable fact. Anyways, have a good day. Goodbye.